What if I told you that Cleopatra, Egypt's most famous queen, wasn't actually Egyptian by blood? It might sound unbelievable, but her story is full of unexpected twists and turns that challenge everything we think we know about ancient Egypt. Cleopatra was a descendant of the Ptolemaic dynasty, a powerful Greek family that came to rule Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great. The Ptolemies were outsiders, arriving in Egypt as conquerors, and for nearly 3 centuries they held on to their Greek identity, passing it down from one generation to the next. The Ptolemies spoke Greek, worshipped Greek gods, and even imported Greek art and architecture into the heart of Egypt. They lived in a world apart from their Egyptian subjects, ruling from the magnificent city of Alexandria, which became a beacon of Greek culture in Africa. But Cleopatra was different. She broke the mold. She was the first of her line to learn the Egyptian language, and she embraced the customs and beliefs of her people. This wasn't just a personal choice, it was a bold step that set her apart from her ancestors. By speaking to her subjects in their own language and honoring their traditions, Cleopatra forged a powerful connection with the Egyptian people. This was more than symbolic. It was a shrewd political move that helped her secure her throne in a time of uncertainty. By embracing Egyptian culture, she built loyalty and projected herself as a true pharaoh, not just a foreign queen. She wore the traditional regalia of the pharaohs and participated in ancient rituals, showing her subjects that she was one of them. Cleopatra even presented herself as the living goddess Isis, merging Greek and Egyptian traditions in a way no ruler had before. This powerful image helped her command respect and devotion from both Greeks and Egyptians alike. Cleopatra's unique blend of heritage and strategy made her one of history's most fascinating rulers. She was able to walk the line between 2 worlds, using her dual identity to her advantage. She was a queen on the edge of a changing world, determined to shape her own destiny. Facing threats from within and beyond Egypt's borders, Cleopatra's intelligence and adaptability became her greatest strengths. Her story begins at the crossroads of 2 ancient civilizations where ambition, culture, and power collided to create a legend that still captivates us today. Cleopatra became queen at 18, a remarkable age for anyone to inherit a throne, let alone a young woman in a world dominated by men and tradition. She inherited not just a crown, but a kingdom teetering on the edge of collapse, its treasury empty, its people restless, and its once glorious capital, Alexandria, now a shadow of its former self. By law and custom, Cleopatra was forced to co-rule and even marry her 10-year-old brother, Ptolemy III. This awkward partnership quickly turned into a bitter power struggle, as both siblings vied for control. The royal court in Alexandria became a nest of intrigue and betrayal. Ambitious advisors and scheming courtiers whispered in the shadows, turning Ptolemy against his older sister and fueling the flames of rivalry. Eventually, Cleopatra was driven into exile, forced to leave the city she loved. But even in the harsh deserts, she refused to surrender her claim to the throne. In exile, Cleopatra's resolve only hardened. She gathered loyal supporters and raised an army in Syria, determined to return to Egypt and reclaim her birthright by force if necessary. At this critical moment, the fate of Egypt took a dramatic turn. Julius Caesar, the most powerful man in Rome, arrived in Alexandria, pursuing his defeated rival Pompey. Cleopatra saw a rare opportunity. She knew that if she could reach Caesar before her enemies did, she might win his support and tip the balance of power in her favor. Caesar, shocked and appalled by the murder of Pompey on Egyptian soil, decided to intervene in the royal dispute, seeing both a chance for justice and a way to secure Rome's interests. Cleopatra's boldness, intelligence, and political savvy would soon be put to the ultimate test. She began to plan her next move with meticulous care, knowing that everything was at stake. For Cleopatra, this was more than a struggle for power. It was a fight for her very survival, and for the future of her people. The stage was set for a dramatic confrontation, one that would not only decide the fate of Egypt's throne but also shape the destiny of the ancient world. Cleopatra's determination and courage would soon bring her face to face with Rome's greatest general, setting in motion a chain of events that would echo through history. In this moment of crisis, the fate of Egypt and Cleopatra's own destiny hung in the balance, awaiting the outcome of a meeting that would change everything. Cleopatra was no mere figurehead. She was a hands-on ruler. She stabilized Egypt's economy, reformed currency, and fought corruption. Unlike her predecessors, she connected with her people, participating in religious festivals and ruling as a divine pharaoh. Cleopatra was a master diplomat, forging alliances with Rome's most powerful men, Julius Caesar and later Mark Antony. These relationships were strategic, aimed at protecting Egypt's independence. She used her intelligence and Egypt's wealth to become indispensable to Rome. Cleopatra commanded armies, negotiated treaties, and dreamed of a new Hellenistic empire. Her ambition put her on a collision course with Rome. She was a female ruler in a man's world, shaping events rather than reacting to them. Cleopatra's reign was defined by vision, strategy, and relentless determination. Cleopatra's first meeting with Julius Caesar is the stuff of legend, a moment that would alter the course of history for both Egypt and Rome. Smuggled into the palace under the cover of darkness, she famously emerged from a carpet at Caesar's feet, a daring act of political theater that stunned everyone present and immediately captured Caesar's attention. Caesar, impressed by her boldness and intelligence, became her ally and lover. Their connection was immediate, built on mutual respect and ambition. With Caesar's support, Cleopatra reclaimed her throne after a brief but intense civil war, restoring stability to Egypt and strengthening her own position as queen. Their alliance was sealed with a grand journey up the Nile, a spectacular procession that showcased Egypt's immense wealth, culture, and Cleopatra's restored power to both her people and the world. Cleopatra later gave birth to Caesar's son, Caesarion, a living symbol of their union and a potential heir who embodied the hopes of a new era for both nations. She later traveled to Rome, arriving in a blaze of splendor and causing a sensation among the Roman people. Her presence fueled rumors of Caesar's royal ambitions and challenged the city's traditions. Cleopatra's presence in Rome was both captivating and controversial, challenging Roman norms and unsettling Caesar's political enemies, who saw her as a threat to the Republic's values. Their partnership was more than romance. It was a union of two powerful leaders, each bringing their own vision and strength to the alliance, shaping the destinies of their nations. Cleopatra's influence on Caesar was profound, and their son represented a potential new dynasty that could unite the ancient world under their lineage. But their alliance also made her a target in Rome's dangerous political games, as rivals and enemies plotted against her and Caesar, fearing the power they represented together. Cleopatra's fate was now tied to the shifting fortunes of the Roman Republic, her future uncertain as the tides of power and intrigue swirled around her in a foreign land. After Caesar's assassination, Cleopatra returned to Egypt, her future uncertain. Mark Antony, Caesar's trusted general, soon summoned her to Tarsus. Cleopatra arrived in spectacular fashion, dressed as the goddess Venus, captivating Antony and the entire city. Their connection was instant, both romantic and political. Antony needed Egypt's wealth, Cleopatra needed his military power. Together, they formed a powerful alliance, ruling from Alexandria and raising 3 children. Antony began to act more like a Hellenistic king than a Roman general, fueling suspicion in Rome. Their partnership culminated in the donations of Alexandria, where Antony granted lands to Cleopatra and their children. To Rome, it looked like betrayal. Antony was accused of giving away the empire to a foreign queen. Their love story became legend, but it was also a declaration of independence from Rome. Cleopatra and Antony's union threatened the balance of power in the ancient world. Their fate would soon be decided on the battlefield. Cleopatra's true power lay not in her beauty, but in her intellect. Ancient writers praised her wit, charisma, and mastery of languages. She reportedly spoke 9. This linguistic skill made her a formidable diplomat, able to negotiate directly with foreign leaders. Educated in Alexandria's great tradition, she was well versed in philosophy, science, and the arts. Cleopatra was a patron of learning, possibly even an author herself. Her famous entrances, the carpet, the barge, were calculated acts of political theater. She managed a complex economy, commanded fleets, and navigated deadly court politics. Reducing her to a seductress ignores her true genius as a ruler. Cleopatra's mind was her greatest weapon, making her one of history's most effective leaders. Her legacy is a testament to the power of intelligence and strategy. Cleopatra's influence went far beyond politics. She became a living symbol. By identifying with the goddess Isis, she claimed divine legitimacy and won the devotion of her people. She merged Greek and Egyptian traditions, creating a unique cultural fusion. Cleopatra's style set trends across the Mediterranean, inspiring fashion and art in Rome and beyond. Her presence in Rome sparked a wave of Egyptomania, making her a true trendsetter. Cleopatra saw herself as the mother and protector of her people, fighting to preserve Egypt's independence. Her vision was to create a new Eastern Empire, ruled from Alexandria. This ambition put her in direct conflict with Rome, but it was rooted in genuine devotion to her kingdom. Cleopatra was the last pharaoh, determined to uphold her people's legacy. Her story is one of cultural transformation and enduring influence. Cleopatra and Antony's alliance alarmed Octavian, Caesar's heir. Octavian launched a propaganda war, painting Cleopatra as a dangerous foreign queen. The final showdown came at the Battle of Actium, where Octavian's fleet defeated Antony and Cleopatra. Their forces shattered, they retreated to Alexandria, awaiting the inevitable. As Octavian's army closed in, Antony died by his own hand, believing Cleopatra was dead. Cleopatra, refusing to be paraded as a trophy, chose her own death, legend says, by asp bite. With her, the Ptolemaic dynasty ended, and Egypt became a Roman province. The age of the pharaohs was over, but Cleopatra's legend was just beginning. Her dramatic end cemented her place in history. Cleopatra's life marked the end of an era and the birth of a myth. Her story would echo through the ages. Why does Cleopatra's story still captivate us after 2,000 years? She was more than a romantic figure. She was a brilliant, ambitious ruler who shaped history. Her life marked the end of ancient Egypt and the dawn of the Roman Empire. Cleopatra defied expectations, ruling in a world dominated by men. She used every tool, intellect, charm, and power to fight for her kingdom. Her story is about more than love, it's about ambition, identity, and legacy. Cleopatra reminds us that history is shaped by extraordinary women as well as men. Her legend endures because she was complex, courageous, and unforgettable. The world she knew is gone, but her name lives on. Cleopatra's story is a timeless reminder of the power of a determined leader.